Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Okay, so the most interesting thing about my online journey is the fact that like how I'm doing stuff just based off Wi-Fi and energy, and energy like for instance, I just got a client. I just got a client, right, that paid me $333, and I have to shore her up system, and I have to better myself to really put myself in a position where I can really help her, and I can, but like really like help her in a way I guess I'm not helping myself. And it's a fascinating process because um it's all about energy. It's not necessarily about um it's not necessarily about like oh, I can't, like this time with my phone being off, um and me just cultivating the discipline and the focus and the hold on. Is I'm learning that my concentration is actually, to develop like concentration on a high level, is actually um, a deeper level. And like when what's her name said, Dan Pena said that to be successful you have to have a higher level of commitment, and that's so true because that's what deep concentration is, a level of commitment that supersedes physical presence. Let me repeat that again. High concentration is the ability to to stay on task and to stay in focus and to stay in in focus despite all outside appearances. And that's like the most challenging part of my life, and it's the most interesting, where it's like I have to stay focused outside of all external um all external appearances. And it's the most like fascinating thing that I'm experiencing because like it's the real test of my faith. Like, and it's true, when I turn my phone back on, I get a new phone. Um um I'm gonna learn that that's the real faith, the ability to concert. Like that's my real power. That um I paid my cell phone bill over and over, and my rent bill over and over and over again, with no money, no evidence, no none of that. And the fact that I have to use my mental faculties, I have to use the internal to manifest an external reality, is a interesting ideal and a interesting power, because I can, everything that everything that is happening is due to an external, due to an internal, um, due to an internal um, understanding and nothing else. Like it's not an external. The external comes after the internal, and it's funny. Um, I wish I could like make it up and be like, oh, I have somebody financing me. Like, no, everything that I do is based off a sale, and 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 um, yeah, everything that's happening is because I manifested it. Everything that's happening is um, because I focused on what I wanted, because I did a ritual, but that's still my energy. Doing a magic is my energy. Um, Like and every like sometimes I'm like I think it's the second time I did a road opener or a manifestation or spell or whatever, and it worked out. Um, and it's making me change who I claim to be at a core level, because it's like when I'm failing, you have to ask yourself, is that the real you? And a lot of the times, it ain't. It's the version of you that, according to the eighth principle of the Hermetic laws, that's the part of you that you care about the most, failing. You care so much about failure that wow. That's deep. You care so much about failure that you allow it in your life. And I say, when I say you care about it, here's what I mean. And I don't mean care with the lowercase c. I mean care with an uppercase C. Meaning it's something you give attention to. It's something that you cultivate. It's something that you plan. It's something that you visualize. It's something that you speak about. And as I think about that's real. Like when you care about something, it's all you talk about with capital CARE. It consumes you, and you won't even know it. When you care about success, that's all you talk about. I think lowercase care is about an emotional attachment more than anything else. You have to love it. With capital care, CARE, it's more about laws and principles more than it is. And I'm gonna tell my partner that it's more about laws and emotions. No, it's more about laws and principles than it is about emotion. Lowercase care is very emotional. It's like your mom. She has to care for you because she's your mother. She's obligated to care about you. When you get older, it's uppercase care. It's principles and morals. If she don't feel like you align with her principles and morals, whatever those may be, all that lowercase care goes out the window. It sounds weird, and a lot of people do it in a fucked up way, but I've noticed that about my life. Like you gotta uppercase care. It gotta be like laws and principles. Like it gotta be laws, principles, and standards. Um, that's when you get like uppercase care. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. When you get lowercase care and see. Damn, does this camera flip? No. So hopefully you guys can see that. But when there's a lowercase care, this is emotional. This is about obligation. This is about like emotional attachment. Uppercase care is about connection, uh, connection, laws, principles, and standards, and it's about nothing else. You will get left behind if you don't apply those, and if you don't have those. Care, lowercase care, it's you could be miserable with somebody, and they'll take you along for the ride because they care about you. And even if you're toxic for their mission, uppercase care, they can't do that. because um because because it can cost them what they care about. Like when you're about laws, principles, standards, and laws, principles, standards, yeah, you have to be mindful of everything because because you know everything has a consequence to it. When it's about lowercase care, like all lowercase, it's not really about you don't really count the cost, for real, for real. You don't really count the price. And a lot of us, let's say, we give another example, a lot of us don't create children out of capitalization care. Um, we mean out of laws, principles, and standards. We have an attachment, and in uppercase cares about connection, lowercase cares about attachments. Um, a lot of us have children out of attachment, not out of actual connection. Because when we have children, a lot of the times we don't really want to form a connection with our children. It's just an attachment. So that means that in the simplest of senses, um, we only care to the extent of our ego, like my parents did, not to the extent that you have a genuine connection with this individual, and it's about laws, principles, and standards, not about how it strokes your ego or not. So, and when we actually started to get into standards of I think my parents used to say it like be. I think she something about being excellent, or like be excellent to some extent. And when it was time to make excellent decisions, that the emotion of the emotion of the emotions, the attachment came in. So what I mean by the attachment came in, like it came with the attachment came in, meaning like the attachment to their ego. So when it started to supersede their ego, they cut it. They made me try to pay out of reaction, not proactiveness. Capital CARE is very proactive, and that's what I'm learning. And that's how you have to care about your dream. You have to be proactive more than almost 90% and 10% reactive, because if you even I'm learning in my life, the more I am reactive to my life instead of proactive, the more I lose. Too much reaction causes deep loss. Takes too much loss, because you'll win and take 5 steps back, and I think that's what creates setbacks. You're becoming reactive. Um, yeah. So book the session in the description below, and it's bit.ly/ full chart 197, and text 910-808-9330, 910-808-9330 if you purchased your reading below. Peace.